If you want to learn all about Canva, you are in the right spot. Today, you're going to learn some really cool image and text effects that you didn't know that you can do in Canva. Best part is that I'm going to go through this live, which means that you get to see me at my most authentic self, brain farts and all. Now, I noticed the last time I did a live stream that I quote unquote walked a lot. And so we're going to see just how much I walk in today's live stream because I use a lot of hand motions. I'm at step number 506. I'm going to write that down. I'm just curious. If you are watching this live, you can help me out by being very interactive in the chat, ask questions, leave comments, let me know what your wow moments are, what you didn't know you could do, and any advice, tips, and tricks you can give to each other. That's fantastic too. And when you ask questions, I put a little star by them and I try to answer them a little later on in the stream. So make sure you ask your questions and do everything right. Do everything right. Wow. See, I'm experiencing my first brain fart. All right. So, and during this live stream, I'm going to be asking you some questions. So make sure you have your listening ears on. There's the former preschool teacher coming out. Have your listening ears on. And before we get started with today's topic, I want to talk to you about that awful feeling when Canva goes down. Wow. So this morning was nuts. It was insane. And I just want to say hello to a couple people real quick. Living Creekside is in the house, loving the trailer. Thanks. It was the last thing I made this morning before Canva went down. And when your live stream is about how to use Canva and Canva isn't operational, it causes a little problem. And hello to you, iFun Chris. It's nice to see you here. But I want to show you where you can go if you're noticing things aren't quite right in Canva, because I think that's a great place to start today. Let me click screen share. I forgot to set this up before, so hopefully, yeah, that's the one I want. Here it is. So it's called canvastatus.com. And when things aren't working right, you can just go to this website and it will tell you. And earlier it said that there was some major outages happening. And you can look and see what past incidents happened. Some users may encounter an error loading Canva. And so they noticed it their time at something 26. So I think here it was about 8:26. And then it was resolved by something 55. So 9:55. So it legit resolved 5 minutes before I was supposed to go live. And, you know, that just happens. I had decided not to worry about the stream today. However, when someone messaged me and said, Canva's back, I'm like, you know, I could get ready in about 30 minutes and go live today a little later than I'd planned, but let's do this. So I see that there are 6 of you watching today. If you're watching, I would love for you to tell me where you're tuning in from. If you're in the US, what state are you living in? If you're watching and you're not in the US, I would love to know what country you're tuning in. So it is time to get to those Canva image effects, and they are super, super fun. And I'm going to close out the Canva status, go back to live, and we've got, oh, I'm going to say hello to a couple people before we start getting teaching. Wow, my English is really great today. We've got Living Creekside in the house, tuning in all the way in Oregon. So that means that it is 7:50 a.m. there, bright and early. And Chris is tuning in from California. It's also bright and early there too. Let's see. Funko Pop Drawings is the one that brought it to my attention that Canva was live. And I was like, oh, yes, let me go look. And so thank you for that. Mississippi, I can't remember what time zone Mississippi is, whether it's 1 hour off or if it's the same. I think it might be 1 hour off. And then it's time for Yarn is watching from sunny Florida, USA. I'm a little jealous of the sunny weather, even though I prefer for it to be a little bit cooler. Florida, I like Florida. I've not been to Florida. Ooh, it's been 22 years since my last visit to Florida. But yeah, so much fun. All right, let's get Canva on. And since everyone's responding to me, I'm guessing that the sound is coming in okay. Give me a thumbs up if it is. But let's get this up. We've got Canva going. I'm sorry. I don't have anything contagious. Part of my chronic illness is I do get occasional coughs. And so it happens all the time. And the later it is in the day for me, the worse it gets. So because this is starting a little later than I normally start, I can tell that I'm going to have some coughing fits. So when that happens, if it's a major coughing fit, I'm just going to mute the mic. But if it's just something little like this, then I will just leave the mic unmuted. So what I'm going to teach you today, really, you can do it. You can do this in any of the document sizes. So I'm just going to click video because that tends to be the document size that I use the most. And we're just going to create something blank today. What time is it where I am? It's only 10:53 a.m. But I have about 2 great hours where I feel pretty good, pretty energized and everything. And then about 11 a.m., everything starts like going. That's why I do the live streams as early as I do them, because I know that my energy level just will peter out if I start it later, like today. However, my IV infusion seems to have really, really helped because I'm feeling a whole lot better today. And it's close to 11. And normally by now I would probably be in my chair snoozing. All right. Let's see. Let me go to this folder that I've got called Background Removal Live Stream. It was to help me stay on track for what I wanted to teach. And the first thing we're going to talk about is how to change the color of something. Let's say you've got this image, and just so that you all know, this one is actually a free image. It's called Trendy Dress for Girl near, I don't know what the rest of it is, but that's the name of it. And I don't think, oh, here it is. Near postcards on beige background. So if you type all of that in the Elements tab, you should be able to find this image there. But the feature I'm going to share with you is the Canva Pro background removal tool. And when I do this particular style, what I like to do is duplicate the page. And what I'm going to do is change the color of this dress. It's no longer going to be pink. I'm going to change it to something different. And this is a really fun way to customize different images in Canva to make them uniquely yours. So we're going to take this and put it right on top. And then I'm actually going to slide in these. There's a white line. I'm going to slide in the edges just a little bit. And you'll see why in a minute. But we're going to click on this top image, go to Edit Image, and then click this background remover. And when you click it, it will process. I'm going to click Apply. Now, it looks like nothing has changed, but when I move this over here, there is no background. I'm going to put this back on top, directly back on top. And then what I'm going to do is take both of them. It might not work out well with this size. So you know what? I'm just going to go like this. But if I were in a square image, I would just pull it out. All right. So you see how it's having a little bit of a hard time there, pulling out all the way. If you click down here on the lower left-hand side and zoom out, you'll be able to left click and pull out like this. And then you can drag it up to where you want it to go. But that size doesn't work for what I want to show you. So I'm just going to shrink it down like this. The reason why you want to pull in the sides is because if you don't, then it will take over the background and this one will go away. But we're going to take and change the color of this dress. Are you ready? You'll go to Edit Image. And then you might think we're going to choose duotone, but that's not what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is type in color mix. So when I type in color mix, there's going to be one here. It might not be connected for you, but all you have to do is click on it and connect to it. But I'm just going to click See All, and I could actually change this dress to different colors. And I really like that one, but I could change it to this amethyst color. I could change it to the marmalade or the marine. There's one called Glow, Parakeet, Sangria, but I really like this Arctic one. And I'm just going to click Apply. And now, just like that, it went from a pink dress to this teal color. Now, here's the other thing. You can add now a shadow effect to this to make it stand off the page. So click this, and you will see that I've got all changes saved up here. We're going to go back to Edit Image. And I'm going to click out of this and type in shadow. I'm going to click See All. And now I can try different shadows around this dress to see what I think. Now, you see? So this one looks like this. I could do an angle shadow or even a curved shadow, a page lift shadow, a backdrop, right? You see? Drop. I like the drop. And I'm just going to click out of it. Now you might go, well, that's not a great image to download because of the white space. Well, what I'm going to do, just to see how it works. After this gets finished, there's saving paused. While it's waiting, I'm just going to do Canva can do websites. Absolutely. You can actually make a website in Canva. I've not really dug into it that much because I've not been feeling well. However, I'm going to star this so that I remember later on to show you where to find that. I love it too. I think it's such a great way to just add an image effect to something and make it different than what Canva offers. And I love it. All right, so I'm going to go up here to this resize button. And yes, these are Canva Pro features. If you're using Canva for free, I completely get it. I used it for free from 2015 to 2021. And when I realized how much time I was wasting doing the free alternatives rather than just signing up for Canva Pro, I went ahead and signed up for Canva Pro. But this is just one of the things that you can do with Canva Pro. So I'm going to change this to 1080 by 1080, and I'm just going to resize it. And now I'm going to left click the back image. I'm going to click Shift and the dress, and then I'm going to size it so that it sizes the background. And then left click and move that around to where you want it. And then click out of it. And now this one is in the background and this one is not. See? You can still see that pink dress. Can you use this feature with your own images, or does it have to be one of the Canva images? Great question. You can absolutely use this feature with your own images. I'm not sure if I've got one right here because everything I do is for this. Let's see. Well, that one wouldn't be a great one to try it on. But yes, you can absolutely. In fact, let's download an image. Let's go to unsplash.com. And what I'm going to search is for, or I'll tell you what, you guys give me some keywords to search. I don't know, products. My brain. I'm not great at thinking on the fly. Oh, I know what I can do. I'm going to use this one. I'm just going to use this image right here. This is a free image. I'm going to go here, upload file. I'm going to upload that file that I just downloaded. And we're going to click it. So this is my own image. It's not, but it's an example of what you can do. And I'm going to do the same thing, except for this time, instead of changing the headphones, I'm actually going to change the background. So I'm going to click this image, edit image, background remover. If you are just joining us today, what we're doing is taking a look at the Canva Pro background removal tool. And I'm teaching you a few fun tips and tricks to do with 3 different image effects. And if I have time, I'll go in more. I've actually got a list of 7 different things that I use this tool for. And depending on your questions that come in, depending on how much time there is, I might get to the more than just the 3 I have planned. All right, so you see, remove the background. from the microphone. From the microphone. Can we have a brain fart counter? Anybody? I think that was brain fart number 2. Let's see. All right, so I've got the headphones in this background. I'm going to put them right on top. And then remember the trick of sliding in the image. And then we're going to select both images and size it properly. I just want to make sure that those purple lines right there in the middle aren't covering the whole image. And then I'm going to select out of it. And then I'm going to take this one, go to edit image, and I can use that same color mix and change the color so that it is purple or the sangria color or anything. And whatever you use back there, ooh, I like that one. It's going to be different depending on the saturation of your image. I think I went too fast there. Let me try that again. Sometimes if you go too fast, it won't take, but you can also click the, I'm having another brain fart. You can click the, like this control panel right here, and you can actually change the saturation of it if you want to be not as bright. Or you can change the hue right there as well, which is really kind of fun. So we're just going to click below me. Let me show you right there. There's an apply button, so you'll click that. And there you go. So I use an image that I uploaded into Canva and use that same background removal tool with the color mix. And you could technically use any that you want. Look, I'm having a saving pause. It's still thinking about what I did in the background. So I'm going to wait and not do anything for a minute while I'm waiting for this saving pause to go away. Any questions about the background removal tool for this particular feature, for changing the color of either the background or the image in front? All right, let's see here. We are going to go back. Actually, I'm just going to leave that there, and I'm going to go up here and go to the background and see what's next. So the next thing that I really like to do, these pop-out images. Let me show you a great case use. Let me pull me up. Here we go. I'll show you how I like to use these. I don't know if you guys can tell, but my voice I feel like it sounds better today. I had my iron infusion on Tuesday, and I'm feeling a lot better today. Okay. Let me put the screen back up. Here we go. So this is an example of how I like to use background removal tool for 3D pop-out images. And we actually did this as a collab during the last live stream. People recommended some animals, and I got some quotes during the live chat, like this one. Anton King suggested to name the first page of a design to describe the content, to see what it is at a glance. It's a great suggestion. And I didn't use it for this, but that front page, right? Ooh, that front page, I use a 3D pop-out effect. So that's what I'm going to teach right now. All right. Now, I chose this image, woman leaping in air. And I chose it because I thought it looked really fun, like leaping out of either an Instagram post or even a Polaroid picture. And so I'm going to go ahead and get this set up first. And we're going to do the same technique. We're going to duplicate it, go to Edit Image, Background Remover. Who else had trouble with Canva this morning? I'm going to bring these lines back in. I'm actually going to make sure, yep, I want to make sure. Now you're going to notice maybe that her, let me pull this out, that her arm is cut off, but that's okay. The way I'm going to design it, that doesn't matter. I'm going to put right on top, select it. We're going to do just like that other image. Because basically, actually, you know what? I don't want to do that. My brain. I don't need that at all, actually. We're going to go back to this because I'm going to just grab this Instagram post picture. And it is called Instagram Frame Illustration. We're going to change the background to this color. We're going to size this. There are little circles on the edge of elements and photos and everything. And we're going to size that. I might size it a little bit bigger. And I'm going to bring it down to the center and the middle. And then I'm going to right click and send it all the way to the back. Because now I need to work on this lady. I want her a little bit bigger. And basically, I want to duplicate this one. And the one in the back, I want to go ahead and put a shadow effect on it. If you have any questions while I'm doing this, feel free to put them in the chat. Or if you're watching this on replay, leave them in the comments. Edit image. We're going to go with shadow. And let's see what the drop shadow will look like. Yep, that leaves a great shadow on the feet. So I'm going to apply that. And then that happened. So this is what happens when I'm live streaming. So it was too big, so it took over the background. So guess what? I'm going to right click and detach image. So now it's this size again. And let's, you know what? Let's just take it with this one. And I'm just going to shrink her down because I want to try to make sure she does not. No. Oh, yeah, I duplicate. Let's go with this. We'll go with the shadow, the drop shadow again. Down here right below me is apply. And so the drop shadow's been applied. And now I'm going to size both of these at the same time. I'm just going to slide it over. They don't matter if they're right on top of each other, just as long as they size up at the same time. And then I'm going to click out of it. All right, good. That one didn't take over the background. So for this one, I want her foot behind and I want her arm kind of behind. So I'm going to take this line and drop this purple line to the right. And then I'm going to drop this line down. So now I've got the base and you got the shadow. And now I'm going to put this one right on top. We're still going to slide this one to the right because I want it behind. Actually, I want to keep going like this so that her hair is in front of the Instagram image. All right. So now do you see how she's just popping right out of this Instagram post? And now I want to get a picture behind her. I don't want to use this one. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Elements and I'm just going to type graffiti. And I think that I'm just going to use this one, graffiti detail, because I'm going to show you another cool image effect that you, I'm having a brain fart. Another cool image effect that you may not know about is that you can actually turn these images grayscale. So click your image, go to Edit Image, and then we're going to look at this one called Filters. Let me move out of the way for a second. So this one called Filters, we're going to see all and scroll down until you see grayscale. Street also works well. Maybe I'll use that one today, but you can double click this and give it intensity as well. Let's do that. 38, 37. And now we're going to size this to the square of the Instagram post. And I'm going to right click and send it all the way to the back. Now it looks like she's coming right out of the image. And I just love this effect. You can even click the background, go up here and click the color and change it to one of the colors that's in this image. So let's just say that you are using Google Chrome or you're using Microsoft Edge, or maybe you're even using the desktop app. When you click the document color, there will be an eyedropper and you can pick a color from the design. So I'm going to do that and I'm going to try one of these purple hues and see what that looks like. That's really nice, actually. Or I could choose something else. I could choose one of these blue hues. Ooh, I really like that, actually. And if you were wanting to download any of these images, I've not shared that on one of these live screens, but at the top right, almost by the duck's beak, there's a share button, and you can click download and download the file type that you need on the page that you need. So that's a pretty cool effect. And as you see, because I put a shadow on that first one, you get the shadow effect on the Instagram post. I see Chris wants to know if that works on videos. And so you can use this effect in a video by putting it in a video document, but because all of the pieces are separate, if you add an animation, it would look really funny. Now, what you could do is make a selection, and I'm going to select the whole thing. And when you right click, you can download the selection. And if you have Canva Pro, you can click transparent background and download just the selection, right? And then when you upload it, it's going to be one piece. So I'm going to go to Uploads, Upload File. I'm going to click that image. And when I open it up here, it is now one piece, even though this doesn't quite, I don't know that it looks quite right. That one doesn't look quite right, does it? So let me try download this way. I've not tried that before, that particular image. So let's try it this way. 3, transparent background instead of the download selection. And I'm going to show you something really cool. I've got it set up on my computer on Chrome so that the download shows up here at the bottom. And if I left click that design, I can drag it onto my document here and it will automatically go forward. Yeah, the one that was downloaded straight looks better. So then now at this point, I could use this as an animation. I could do an animation and download it as a video and it will all go at one time. That was a pretty cool idea. Thanks, Chris. All right. Now, in between, so we've done this one. We've talked about changing the color here. And we talked about creating this image. In a minute, I'm going to show you how to put text behind something, but I know that there's some chat messages and I want to get caught up with that and say hello and see if there are any questions that I've missed already. So if you will bear with me here. How's everybody doing today? You learning a lot? Have you had any wow moments yet? Let's see here. I tell you what, why don't I show you something fun while I'm trying to find what I'm looking for? I created this in Canva if I needed a minute. So let me show you that while I'm going through the comments. And yes, I made it in Canva. All right, I've almost got through them. All right, let's see here. Okay, I'm going to go through these and I'm going to read them as I see them because I didn't have time to read everything. All right, let's see. I'm sorry, I'm having a moment. Let me see what Funko Pop Drawing says. Have you ever had problems with the color resetting when adding the drop shadow? I notice when I do it on my end, the color resets. Okay, so my recommendation is, because it does happen sometimes, and I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to show you because, of course, now it probably won't happen, but up here at the very top, you'll notice that it says all changes saved. And before I apply a new image filter to anything, whether it's a shadow, a color pop, or background remover, or anything, what I do is I make sure that that says all changes saved before I move on to the next step. Because when I rush through the process, that's when I have an issue of things reverting back quickly, like what happened here, right? Like I was trying to get this and I went too fast and I didn't wait for this to finish. But yeah, it happens to me all the time. Let's see here. I have not done much with filters. I wish I could retain all the stuff you teach us for longer than a couple days. I'm so glad it's all on video. So here's the thing. It is on video. It's on YouTube. And I know that you mentioned that a little later on. But when you do something repeatedly, the more you do it, the more you remember it. So I have a lot of trouble with my memory and remembering how to do new things. But the more repetition I do, the easier it is for me to remember. So I spent probably 4 hours one day working just on how to remove the background. And because that was a new feature to me a year ago. And so I spent 4 hours just grabbing different images, removing the background, playing around with it. And then I did that. And once I got used to that, then I was like, okay, if I can do that, can I add an image effect to something that's had the background removed? Right? So actually with this one, you'll see that it just changed everything. You didn't even need this second part, but that's very, very cool. But this one gives it the yellow image. Oh, you're not looking at what I'm looking at. All right, let's see, screen share. So I just spent all day, like not all day, but I spent a lot of time working and practicing. And the more I learned and practiced and did the skill over and over again, the more it sunk in, right? So every time something changes, I have a little hard time with the change. Like recently, they changed where the duplicate button is. The duplicate button's here. And it's going to take me a little while to remember that the duplicate button is here and it's not up here. Because every time I go to duplicate something, let's look at, I'm trying to see if there's something here that I can do leaping. Let's do another leaping thing. So let's say that I was going to go here and I was going to do something with that same effect. Now, I played around with Canva yesterday for probably 2 hours because I was prepping for today's live stream. But every time I went to duplicate my mouse, my hand mouse, I immediately went up here before I remembered, oh, it's right there, even though it's right in front of me. So it just takes some time. And let's just play with this, edit image, background remover. And this one, I think I could put this through a letter. I bet I could put this through a letter. So I'm going to click out. It's still thinking. It's finished thinking. So I might try to put her through a letter. Watch. I repeat myself a lot when I'm having brain moments. I know what's going to happen here. She's going to take over the background. Let me just put her there. All right. And now let's see. Let me get an O. And I think I might need a different letter here. What about, is that wider? That's a little wider. I don't know. We're going to try to put her through this letter. Well, look, you see what happened? She took over the, wow, I'm just really on it today. Here we go. See, I get quiet when I start really designing because, all right, there we go. So you see now that she's leaping through the O. That's really fun. You could do anything circular like that. So Chris, my let me pull me up. So my channel used to be called the Canva Classroom. That was a recent change that I decided to take the Canva part out of it. The reason why I did it is because my focus really is on YouTube content creators, and I don't want to go through another rebranding process. So, and I also don't want to attach, people thought that I was working for Canva. And so I wanted to make sure that it was clear that I do not work for Canva and that I was not the Canva for Education platform. So that's why I dropped the Canva out of my name. Plus, it allows me to spread my wings, so to speak, if I want to share things that aren't necessarily Canva related, either during the live streams or on the YouTube community post. So that just helps me be able to broaden a little bit of and really narrow in on the creator portion of my channel, even though 95% of what I share is Canva. So that's why I probably won't put Canva back in the name just because, and also about 6 months after I changed my name, and there is a whole name process, right? About 6 months after I changed it from the Canva Classroom, or from, it used to be Canva Tutorials by Like It or Not. That's a long story. And then I changed it to the Canva Classroom. But about 6 months after I did that, someone wrote a book called The Canva Classroom. And so it was getting really confusing. People were coming to the channel thinking that I was the author of that book, and I wanted to make it clear that I was not. So that was one of the reasons why I dropped the Canva part and just put the Creator Classroom. All right, let's see what else. I never thought about all the changes part. Thanks for the info. I can never figure out why it did that. Yeah, it would do that to me for a while. And then one day I realized, I saw up there, you know, it shows 3 little white dots when it's still saving things. And next time when I'm going in to teach the text behind an image part, I will show that. I will point that out when it's happening, but it pretty much happens whenever you move anything. I'll show you that in just a minute, but let's see. And Living Creek said, I have that on my Chrome and I had no idea we could do that. Yeah, I love the color dropper. I tend to use Firefox when I'm just in the like creative mode. But when I'm sharing on screen here, I like to use Chrome so that you guys can see the color dropper aspect. Because there are some things on Chrome that you can do that you can't do in others. Like, let me show you this real quick while I'm thinking about it. Share screen. If I go up here to uploads, you'll see here there's a record yourself function. Technically, I could record myself in Canva. I don't do it for a couple different reasons, but the main reason is the length of time that it takes to upload and then download that. But if you click that, then it will bring you into a studio and it will show you that you can choose what to share: an entire screen, a window, a Chrome tab. And for me, I've got two monitors here, so it shows me screen 1 or screen 2. And you can share the camera and the screen, or the screen. And it's balking at me because I didn't choose anything, but I'm going to go exit studio. But yeah, that's something that's available in Chrome that isn't available in other browsers. So that's pretty cool. All right, let me go back to Canva's homepage. And we're going to do that cool design where you can see a text behind something. And let me just say this. If you have questions about Canva, drop them in the comments or chat. Also, if you're finding value in today's live stream, if you've learned something new, you've had an aha moment, then make sure I've got a big truck driving by. Make sure that you hit that like button because it helps me out greatly. Well, it doesn't really, I don't know that it helps me out, but it makes me feel real good. I like it when I see all the likes. All right, let's see here. I'm just going to grab a video document here. And then I'm going to go back to my background folder here. And I'm going to grab this picture. This picture is called White Cruise Ship on a Sea. And again, we're going to use the same exact technique. Click the image. And I do want you to pay attention up here where it says all changes saved. I'm going to click Edit Image. And watch this when I click Background Remover. Actually, well, it's fine. Let me go back because I forgot to duplicate it. We're going to duplicate it real quick. And on this top one, I'm going to do that. But watch this part. Watch up there. Edit Image. Background, you're going to see 3 dots. It actually went so fast that it didn't do it that time. But most of the time, it's going to have you 3 dots, and it's just going to be thinking. But it is fine. I'm going to put this right up here. I think you know where this is going. But I'm sliding the purple lines in. And then I'm going to select all of these. Left click. And bring out. I want to cover this document size. And then I'm going to left click and I just want to bring this down a little bit. I'm actually just going to bring it down about there because I think that looks great for alignment. And then I'm going to click out of it. Now, what did not happen that usually happens, oh, it did that time. It took over as background. So now this one won't move. And this one, you see, it's a separate image. I'm going to put it right on top. And now there's a keyboard shortcut for text. All you need to do is click T on your keyboard and it will bring up a text box. And if you have Canva Pro, then you're going to have a brand kit with your fonts. And so for me, it always pulls up Anton because that's my standard font. But you can always change your font to whatever you want. Let's say that I wanted it to be Public Sans or Now Bold or even Poppins Extra Bold or anything. I can change it, but we're going to go with Anton. And I'm just going to type in the word cruise. And then up here at the top, there is a lowercase a and uppercase a. If I click it, it will bring everything to uppercase for me. I'm going to size this, and you can size it using the little white circles like this, or you can even go up here and click the plus sign and it will size it that way. But when you do it that way, you have to bring out the lines. So I tend to use the circles, and I might even change the color here to white. This is something that some people use this effect on thumbnails. And I really love it when I see this effect on thumbnails. I think it's fun. We're going to go to Effect and click Shadow. We just wanted to lift it up off the page a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and send this to the back. So now it's right there, and you can bring it up a little bit or even over, or however you want, whatever you think looks the best. And I might even go ahead and duplicate that, put it right on top, go to Effects and give a hollow outline. I'm going to change the thickness a little bit. But look, I'm going to change the color to, let's say, black. And you can either leave the black on top so that the cruise ship goes through, or your element or whatever goes through the letters. This just happened. This just in. The Creator Classroom has a brain fart. So you can either do it like that, or you can send that one backwards as well. And I think that's a fun text effect. I've seen it a lot on thumbnails, and I just think it's really cool to give an effect like that. So, what do you think? What do you guys think? Do you like this effect? Personally, it might be my favorite. You know what? I'm going to create a poll. Which effect did you like? I've got more for you, because we're an hour in and my throat is feeling fantastic today. We've done 3 secret image effects. I want to know which one was your favorite. So I'm gonna put in a poll. Which effect was your favorite? And we're gonna do the cruise text effect, or let's see, behind object text effect, or the change outfit color effect, or the 3D jumping Instagram effect. So there we go. There's the poll. And I'm going to unpin this message while I'm here. And you can make your choice of which one you liked the best. And while you're doing that, also, you might as well jump in the comments or the chat and ask your questions. Oh, hold on one second. Phone call. It was a spammer. Okay, so if you have questions, now's the time to ask them. I will show you a couple more things that I think is fun, and including sort of how I created this effect, because you're going to notice that there's some things here and you probably have figured out which one you like, right? Or you probably have figured out kind of how I did this. You'll see that I've got the words behind her. So that means that I did use that background removal effect for this. And so, yeah, let me stop this ticker and let me pull this up. Wow, my brain. Good news is this really should start improving as treatment goes on. It should. But it's when it happens, it's bad. Okay, let's see here. What we're doing today is talking about the background remover tool and different ways to use it. I've shown 3 different options so far, and now I'm going to show you another one. We're going to click the screen share button here, not that one, this one. And I'm going to click plus, and I'm going to go with this image. This image is called Stressed Woman, Colorful Brain. And what's funny is that I found it by searching brain fog, and that's what popped up. But we're gonna have some fun right here. And I'm going to take this one and duplicate it. Can anybody guess at all what I'm going to do next? You have any guesses of what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring in these lines, and then I'm going to click Edit Image, Background Remover. It says it's done. I'm just going to click out of it. Sometimes you can click apply, but I just click out of it. And look, so you see up here, saving paused. So it's really thinking, but now it's done. So now I've got the image without the background. And I want to make sure that I size them together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this down. I just want to make sure that this doesn't take over the background. I'm going to select them both and then size it. Size it to the right, and then I will bring it up. And then click out of it. When I click this, it is still detached from the background, but I'm going to put it right here and click out, and it should take to the background. Now, we're going to add some fun effects to this. And I actually don't have all the fun effects that I added the first time here. So let me go to white splatter and see what we can find. I really love finding different and unique images just to try things out. I don't even know that it was white splatter I looked up. Let's see. If I go to recently used and see all, I can see some things that I've used in the past. Like, I know I used this one, and I think I used that one too. So I'm just going to pull them up. And you'll see that I practiced a lot the other day when I was working on those tools. I actually don't see it. That's all right. We'll go with what I got. We're going to take this. We're going to go and duplicate it and send it back. So then it's behind. We're going to put this right on top here. We'll duplicate it. I'm going to put it in front, and I'm going to go over here, and up at the top, I tell you what, let's see if I can adjust the screen so you can see it. All right, up here at the top, there's a transparency button, and I'm just gonna reduce the transparency there, and I'm gonna reduce the transparency here. I've got my thing too far over. I think I might do some splatters, but you can just add, I spelled splatter wrong. You can add anything you want to the design and send it back behind to give this a little unique look. So what about this? I can send it to the back. Look, I can even click edit image here and go back. And remember filters that we showed earlier? We can change this to a grayscale or a street scale or even something else like drama, dare. Look, a retro. Ooh, I like that one, retro. And so you just draw things around on the edge of all elements and graphics and photos and videos. There's a rotation button. So we're just going to play around with that. I'm actually going to reduce the transparency here. And I just have a lot of fun. Like that's a thing with Canva and design. You can do a lot of different things and just have fun with it. And watch, look, I can even animate her a little bit, but it's going to look funny because it's like it is. Now, if I clicked right click, detach image from background, I could put something else back there and it's not going to look as funny. Let's see here. What about chalkboard? Does anybody have any questions about what we've learned today? Let's see. I don't really like that. If you left click an image on the left-hand side, like this, or even a video, left click and you drag it to the document, then it will take over the background for you and you don't have to right click. And that's a really cool, helpful tool. Oh, what about this one? What happened? I don't know what I just did. Oh, is this a transparent? Oh, you know what? Oh, I think there's a new feature because watch, I think I just discovered a new feature. We're gonna I'm gonna put that back there, but watch this. She's there, right? I'm gonna go with something else. Wow, if I could just type today, that would be fantastic. We're going to go like this, and I'm just going to click and find a cutout because I want another cutout that I don't have to remove. I'm going to look. Did you see that? It took over. It's taking over and keeping things. So like that one, it kept the transparency. Did you see that? Please tell me you saw that. It kept the transparency of what I'd put there. And it just automatically, y'all, if y'all aren't going, look, 38. If I go and put this lady here, just, wow, it kept the same transparency. I'm really, wow, that's amazing. Because do you know how many times I've been like, okay, let me remove this. Let me remove something from a thing and put it in place. Ooh, I need to try something. Let me go right here and let's see. I gotta find, okay, I'm gonna click this, this one. This is the quote community that I do on community tab sometimes, where I do quotes from people. Like this one from LBC Branding, your thumbnail game is on point. Love your whole vibe. And so I did this, but what if I decided instead of the cat that I wanted something else instead? Let me slide this and see if I find another cat with glasses. I'm going to left click and bring it here. And look, I didn't even have to delete the other one. It took over. That is amazing. And I don't know that if, let me put my square here. So with the square there, it won't because it can't get to it. But just I can easily move the square and replace it. I love that. I love that so much. I really, really, really love that. I'm going to have to rewind it and watch again and see exactly what happened. Nope, you don't. I'm going to show you again. Are you ready? Let me go here with this bunny. I'm going to move actually my bunny's not behind the rectangle, actually. I'm going to change the image with a simple click and drag. So let me grab this image on the left. I'm going to click and drag and put it right there. And it replaced the image for me without me having to delete something. I love it. Watch. Boom. Oh, that one's a video. I think it's got to be a video. Yeah. I'm like, the cat's moving. That's amazing. Y'all, it's rare that I see something live and I'm like this is me super excited. I can't get but so excited because of my energy level. But wow, if I could, I would jump up and down because that's a game changer. I'll be able to change so much stuff like quickly if I just want to change an image. Let me go to brand kit. I'm going to go to my brand kit over here, brand template, because I've got this, let me see, second intro for live streams. I'm trying to find one that's got, like, here's a live stream trailer. Okay, yep, let's try this. I'm going to try this because this might help me with that. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to click on it and use this template. So now I've made a copy. And let's say that I want to change out the dogs running for another video. If you guys have any recommendations of what you want me to look up, just let me know. But what about, let's just say running, and then go to video. I'll look at this cutie patootie. I'm going to left click and drag and put it there. Now, I suspect it's going to make the video longer, but if it kept it at 1.3 seconds, that would be fantastic. I don't think it's going to do that. Let's see if my mind's about to be blown. No, I did not think it would do that, but that would have been crazy. All I would need to do is go up here and click this and then click and change my timer if I wanted it to be changed to that. And, 'cause, 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 ' Yep. So now, oh, well, actually, I would need to set it for a little bit longer. Let's see, 1.6, 1.9. There we go. Yeah, I love that. That is so cool. I'm going to go back to the home page though, because that's not what I want. I'm going to get rid of it so I don't go, what is that? That's amazing. All right, now I've got this document here where I was going through different things. So like, here's the dress that I was going to talk about color mix. Here's the one where I was going to talk about 3D jumping effect. Here's the one where I was going to talk about text behind images. Here's this one where I was going to talk about adding cool effects. Now, I've got 3 more things that I've got here. You guys want some question and answer time, or do you want more learning? I'm good either way. You let me know. This is your time. Let me go back to the poll here. We're going to end this poll. We've got 3 votes. Only 3 of you voted. There's 6 of you watching. Half of you voted. That's all right. And the results are 2 of you like the 3D jumping image, and 1 of you like the behind the object text effect. I like that too. I liked both of those. I might need to create an individual video tutorial on both of those that are separate, because I think they're kind of fun. All right, let me go back. Oh, I had a question. What was my question? Oh, the question was, do you want me to teach another effect that you can use with the background removal tool? Or do you want to ask me questions? While you're thinking about it, if you're thinking about questions you have about how to use Canva, it doesn't matter whether it's with this background removal tool or not. It could be anything. And if I know the answer, I'll answer it. If I don't, then I'll say, I just don't know. So I'm going to show you how to do the text effect. I've shown this on a couple live streams, so I'm going to go through it really quickly. But if you want to know afterwards, a tutorial that I've got that's a video tutorial that's not a live stream, if you want to know how more about it, then just comment after the live stream's over and I'll get you a link to that tutorial. But essentially, we're just going to click check there. You take your text effect, or you take your text box, and I'm actually going to change this behind it. Let's make it pink. Yes, a solo video and the 3D effects in different ways would be awesome. Yeah, so I am really hoping that I will be able to get back to like filming and editing like solo videos soon. I actually filmed, I didn't edit a video yesterday for the first time in a month. So that tells me that I'm on the right track with my treatment plan, because I was able to sit down and I spent a lot of time figuring out today's live stream and was still able to film a tutorial. So I'm really hoping that I'm heading in the right direction. And I really would like to film each one of these effects by themselves individually, because I think that would be amazing, especially for people that don't really enjoy the live streams, because it's daunting to look at a video and go, oh my gosh, that's an hour and a half. Oh, that's 2 hours. I understand that. So I like to do the 5 to 10-minute lessons that are easier. It's just very energy draining for me to edit them. So that's why I'm choosing to do more of these live streams and less of the edited videos right now. But I'm hoping that I can get back to that real soon because I really miss editing videos. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's just exhausting. So let me go back to this and share my screen again. And by the way, my regular tutorials, you won't see my face. It takes too much energy for me to set all of this up and film and edit. And then if I have to refilm a segment, like that just takes too much time. So those I'm probably going to continue to be faceless. But during the live streams, you get to see all of this. That might not be a good thing. Some people may prefer for me to remain with no face. But all right, we're going to do this and I'm going to screenshot. And I know my buddy Chris knows the Mac shortcut for screenshots. But for Windows, it is Shift Windows S. And so I'm going to do that. Actually, I pressed the key on my Elgato Stream Deck, but I'm going to screenshot that. And then I'm going to paste it in. And I'm just going to change this to a different color temporarily so that you can see that there is the pink behind it. We're going to take this, go to Edit Image. If you've not seen this before, your mind's about to be blown, but we're going to click Background Remover. Now, for this one with the pink, it didn't really like it. I can see a little bit of the effect there. So I'm going to click on the erase button and I'm going to change the brush size. I'm going to go ahead and click Show Original Image just so that you guys can see it better. I usually do this with a black background because the black background really helps, but I wanted you guys to see what would happen if I used a different color. Now I'm going to click Done. So I'm going to click it again. I'm waiting now for saving pause to finish. All changes saved. Edit. Now we're going to go to shadows. You can type in shadows if you don't have it up here and recently used. We're going to click shadows. And for this effect, you're going to click glow. This is the effect that I use on my thumbnails. And I clicked it twice. Now I can change the size. I'm going to change the size to 15. I'm going to change the transparency to 0. Nope, not 0. 100. You're going to change the blur to 0. And then I'm going to click out of it and wait for it to finish. See how it says saving paused? Now I can move it and I can make it bigger. Now this one looks pretty good. However, you can actually, oh, let me undo that because I think I hit a button. You can actually, if you want, slide it underneath your text. What I do when I do that is click Edit Image. I search for DuoTone and I change it to all black. While we're waiting, how's everybody doing today? We're going to double click this one. It doesn't matter because we're going to click it again. Click the black, and then wait for it to be finished. It's done, and slide it up underneath the text. And I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger and then change that. And that's a pretty cool text effect. And if you want there to be, I'm going to hide this for a second. And I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. But if you want there to not be, I just lost my train of thought. If you want there to not be space in between, then it's really easy. All you have to do is click R on your keyboard to bring up the square. And you're going to change the color to black or the same color as the background effect. And yes, this is exactly what I did in the last live stream. And now you're getting a second lesson because, like Nick and Sean and all of the YouTube educators say, repetition is key. You can hear it once and you might not understand. You hear it twice, you might get it. You hear it a third time, it might start to sink in. So that's what I like to do with the repetition. Plus, if there's people here now that weren't here before, then that's great. But there you go. And that's the text effect. Let's move on because I don't think I've seen any new questions come in. I'm going to show you that you can use that same effect. I've not walked that much today, actually. I'm only at like 1,100 steps. I've kept this at a minimum. So now we're going to use that same effect with the background removal tool and the shadow effect to make like a sticker effect with graphics that don't have that option. Let me show you what I mean. If you go to Elements and you type in anything, let's type in cat. Now what's funny is I've been looking at these cat things, right? I love cats. I think they're great on screen. I think they're great from a distance, but I'm really allergic to cats. So because of that, I will never have a cat because my eyes would be swollen, like really, really swollen. And I would be sick all of the time. I'm sick all the time anyway. I don't need to add to it. All right, let's see. If I go to graphics, let's see this one. Let me change the color here. That's really bright. I don't like it when it's so bright. That's still bright. Man, I'm feeling I think I've reached my light sensitivity for the day. Let's do a pink. That's better for me. All right. Now, when I click Edit Image, it's going to say, editing your image removes the ability to change individual colors. You can always undo, restore, etc. But there is no shadow. If I type in shadow, it isn't there. And that's because this particular graphic doesn't have that as an option, just like other graphics you might find. Let's see here. Let's click graphic. I think it would be the same thing for the dog bone. Edit image. See, same thing. If I clicked something else, I'm trying to find one that would have that shadow glow effect. If I click one of these photos right here, if I click edit image, you're going to have more options. You see how there's a duotone, the shadow, everything's there. We're going to get rid of this. And how we're going to do that, and we're going to add that option, is the same way. We're going to do the screenshot. Now, technically, you can download the image with the share and download PNG with a transparent background and then re-upload it. That's one way to go. But here lately, I've just been using the screenshot function where I can screenshot things. So we're going to try both of these. In fact, I'm just going to screenshot them both at the same time. I just realized this might not be great contrast. So what I'm going to do is change it to white because I want to make sure that there's good contrast. And then I'm going to screen share or screenshot. All right, so I screenshot that. I'm going to go here and I'm going to paste it in. And you will see that it's the two graphics. Now when I click edit image, all of the options are there. So I can click background remover and we're going to see how this works. I've not tried these two particular graphics before. And we're going to just click out of it. Now you're going to notice they look a little funny, but that's why I tend to use the original on top. So I'm going to select these two, left click and use your shift key to select both. I'm going to cut them out. So Control X or Command X, and then I'm going to paste them in. And I'm going to change this back to white so we can see everything clearly. All right, here we go. When I click this one and I click edit image, all the things are there. We can remove the background, which I've already done. But if I click this, not everything is there. So that's why we're going to use this one to add a shadow. And I'm going to add a white shadow. So because I'm going to add a white shadow and I want you to see it, let me put that pink back on screen. Changed it here. Edit image. Shadow. Glow shadow. We're going to change this to white. And we're just going to use the same size. You can use any size you want though. You can use any transparency you want. If I zoom in really close, you're going to notice that there are some holes in here, and we can just add some shapes underneath to cover that up. So if I click C on my keyboard, I'm just going to do this, change it to white, and then send it backwards. So now we've got that. I'm going to shrink this back down. Now, this is two different images, and how you can fix that is you can duplicate it, and then you can slide this one in like this, and then you've got one image, and you can take this one and slide this one in, and you've got one image, and I'm going to select these two and group them. I think I accidentally got rid of something somehow, so let's try that again. We're going to duplicate this. I'm going to regroup it. And pull this bone out and then shrink that down. All right, now, what I prefer to do is add the original graphic back on top, because I think it just gives it a cleaner look. And it makes it even easier if everything's the same color. So I changed this to the duotone. So edit image, duotone. And while it's talking, does anybody else think that this glow shadow sticker effect on elements is fun? I find it a really great way to design things. So I'm going to double click on the cherry and then change the highlights to white and change the shadows to white, and then click out of it and wait for it to save. It's finished. Now I can bring this one up and put it right on top, and it gives it a fresher look. So that's the way to use that effect. Now, I have a question for you. I normally don't stream this late, and by this late, I mean it's only 12:20 p.m. here, so it's noon, 20 minutes after noon, and my air conditioner just came on. Is the air conditioner distracting? Yes or no? If it is, we will wrap it up. But if it's not, I'll keep going and show you one more technique, because I got one more technique up my sleeve. I just need to know if it's distracting. And I'm just assuming that you guys don't have any questions, any specific questions. It's not distracting. Great. I worked on my microphone over the weekend and was able to, I think, get it so that it wasn't picking up so much background in the house. So that's great that it's not distracting. Are you guys good for one more? Do you want one more tip right now? Or are you ready to call it? I'm good either way. I've got about another 10 or 15 minutes in me. I'm good either way. But what I want you guys to do for me to help me out for my community post, because I want to do a community post about the live stream, is I want you to put in the chat, what is something you've learned today? What is something new that you've learned today from the Creator Classroom that you either didn't know before or it just put a whole new spin on things? I would love to know what those are. Or you could also say, what's your number one tip to someone that's new using Canva? Either one of those would be fantastic for me to be able to add to the community post either later today or maybe tomorrow. I see that there are a bunch of you that just came in. What we've been doing over the last hour and almost 40 minutes is talking about image design in Canva, specifically how to use the background removal tool in Canva, which you can't see here. Let me go back. Let me find one. Is it this one? For example, like this one, we taught how to do this text effect. It was really fun. We've taught there's been a bunch of different things. I recommend going back and watching it and having yourself a ball while I look a little hot mess while doing it. All right, let's see here. We're going to learn one more thing. It's this. So this particular image, oh, and by the way, in a second, I'll tell you my number one tip for using Canva. Oh. All right. So this image is called Business Couple Jumping, right? And it already has the background removed for me. I think I found it by searching jumping and cutouts, apply filter. But in the particular image that I did, I was just wanting her. But when I slid this over to remove him, it didn't really remove him and it got rid of part of her. So how did I fix that? Let me just grab it again. How did I fix that? Well, even though it doesn't have a background, I clicked Edit Image and Background Remover. And while we're waiting, I love giving tips. It's my favorite thing to do. All right. Now, the reason why I wanted just her is because he just, I don't know, I just wanted her, and I did an effect somewhere. I don't know where it is, or I'd show you, but what you're going to do is click Erase. And when you click Erase, it's going to bring both of them up. And I'm going to slowly make him disappear. And now that I've been really careful around her, I can increase the brush size and quickly get rid of the rest of this person. Now I'm going to click Done. I did not get rid of all of him. Actually, I see some dots here, but that's okay. Saving paused. I'm waiting. I don't want to move too quickly or it will bring him back. All right. Now I can just bring that in and she's there by herself. And so if you have a situation where there are people like this one, and you just want like half of them, and when you bring it over, it removes part of that body, then all you just need to use this background removal tool to get rid of the rest of the image that you don't want. If people are on top of each other like this, it doesn't work well, but if there is space, then it works very well. So we're going to click this erase brush one more time, and we're going to get rid of these two. But really, what I want to do is just make sure that it's close enough that it won't remove his hand. So I'm going to click Done. And then bring that over. And now I've just got the two. Hopefully that all made sense. And it was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to figure out cool new ways to use backgrounds and all of that. Would you find it helpful if I put together a little template that had some of these images that I used today? Like if I put together maybe an Instagram post size with just these particular images. They are some of them are Canva Pro images, so you would only be able to open it up if you have Canva Pro. But would it be helpful if I put together a template for you? If it would be helpful, then make sure that you leave me a comment afterwards that you want the template for this, and I'll see what I can do about putting that together for you. Let's see here. Great tip. I'd been covering the extras up and save and re-upload. I like your way better. I used to do it that way too. And then when I realized I could do that with the background removal tool, I was like, oh yeah, it's on like Donkey Kong. Because, well, let me see. I don't know if I may have deleted what I was working on. Because I did one the other day that had like 5 people and I took them from different elements and it just was a really cool effect. I just don't know where it is. But let's see here. One thing I can say is that I've learned how powerful duplicating images can be when changing colors, creating amazing thumbnail effects and 3D style images, which I didn't think could be done before on Canva. I mean, like you hear background removal tool, right? And this was me. This was me about a year and a half ago. I'm like, well, how powerful. I mean, how could I really use that? Sure, I could use it to remove some images for a thumbnail, but if I'm only creating 1 or 2 thumbnails a week, why couldn't I just use Erase BG? I just spit onto my computer. If I could just use Erase BG and download an image and upload an image and do all that, then why sign up for Canva Pro? I don't understand what the big deal about the background removal tool is. And then I started using it. And the more I used it, the more I used it. And I'm not just talking about I use it a little bit, I use it all the time. A lot of the images that you see in the regular Canva tutorials that I do, I've used that background removal tool. All of the thumbnails you see that I do, let me screen share. Hey, have I remembered to screen share for most of today? I think I may have. I might be finally getting that part down. Let's see here. Where are my thumbnails? Right here, where it says thumbnail. I'm going to click into grid view. If you don't know, let me pull this up a little bit. Oh no, well, that's fine. If you don't know, down here at the bottom, there's a grid view and you can actually click it and see everything. Now, if you've got a lot of things in your file like I do right here, then it's going to take a little bit for it to pop up. But almost every single one of these, I've used the background removal tool for the image or for the text. Some of them for the images, but mostly for the text. And if you like today's lesson, you would really enjoy the one that I did for 3D called 3D pop-up effect. Let me pull that up. I'm going to pull that up on the channel and give you a link for that so that you can watch it later, because that was a really fun video to create. Let's see. Here it is. I don't want it to play, so I want to make sure I stop it. All right, so this is the 3D rainbow effect. I thought I'd stopped it. And we're going to share that right in chat. So I think you guys will be able to click that and check it out later. We're going to, oh, I can't pin from StreamYard, so let me pin from YouTube. But this one was just a really fun video to create. And I also have one more that's very similar. Let's see, here it is. Let me copy this. There's the second one. Let's see. I know a site that has free background removal tool for people that don't have Canva Pro, but I won't post the link unless it's okay with me. So here's the thing. I've got it set so that links can't be shared except for by me or anybody that has a little wrench. But so it's not even going to show up here for anybody. But if you know the name of the site without the link, then you can absolutely share that. Before I got Canva Pro, I used Erase BG. I used Photopea a little bit. There's a couple others that I've used, and what I want to do, what I really want to do is like try out 5 or 6. I want to do that either on a live stream or in a video. I might do it on a live stream to test out different background removal tool programs, Funko Pop drawings. Maybe you can help me out. Okay. Remove.bg is what I used before I got Canva Pro. So, all right. I'm going to bring this up because I want to say this clear. I actually do not recommend Remove BG. So Remove BG, only download it very, very, very small. It is not a good, clear image. I have done a comparison video comparing Remove BG to Canva Pro's background removal tool. It's been a while. I'm not even sure what video that was in, but the clarity on the Canva Pro tool is so much better, and you can't really, with thumbnails, size it up that much or it looks blurry. But Erase BG is better than Remove BG, at least the last time I played around with it. And then there's a couple others. I need to find my notes because I was looking into this before I got really, really sick. And when that happened, I kind of tossed away all of my notes because I knew I wasn't going to be able to do anything like that in a while. But I'm going to research it again. I'm going to start making a list of different, like the trucks going by, like I need to make a list of different free background removal tools. I found a great one, and then they started charging. Like it was completely free for months, and then they decided they were no longer going to be free. So I need to look up those sites again and see if I can find them and maybe do that in a future video, because I think that, yeah, there are a lot of other removal background programs that are free, but the problem is a lot of them that just the clarity isn't there. And so the thing with Canva Pro, as you know, since you have it, is that there's so much more than just the background removal tool that you get. And the features that I use the most, let me share my screen here. The catch to the free ones is they eventually stop being free, which is why I went to Canva Pro. Absolutely, a lot of them are. Or they are really low resolution quality images. So let me see if I can real quick. The top tip I've got is that if you are waffling on getting Canva Pro, it really is to sign up for Canva Pro, because I'm telling you, the amount of time I've saved doing what I do as a YouTube content creator, I can't put a price tag on that. But let me show you what I use the most. I'm going to see if I can run this down in like a few minutes, but the background removal tool is one. The other thing that I use all the time is the brand kit. And now they've got something called brand templates, which I did a few live streams ago, all about brand templates. And you can just open it up and redo. And it's so easy, and you can see them quickly. You can see brand templates quickly on the homepage. Honestly, I don't use the content planner at all, but that is a great feature. And the other feature I use is with InDesign. Let me just click this one right here. What I like about Canva Pro is when you animate, you can slow animations down or change things to like word and character. Or here's burst. I can change the intensity. So there are specific animations that are only available for Pro, and I use those all the time. Those are the main ones. Plus, well, this is not going to look right. Let's see. It's going to be the same thing with your photo animations and such. You can change things like intensity. So I really like the flexibility that allows me, so that I have more options. And then, of course, there's all the photos. I can search for photos in free. If you're a free user, you can use the Pexels or Pixabay app, and those are completely free. But you've got more photo and video and graphic options with the Canva Pro. And what I particularly love is downloading PNG with a transparent background. So that way I don't have to put my text overlays. I don't have to chroma key anything out. I can just slide it right on top of the video editor, and it just makes a world of difference when I'm creating time. When I'm creating videos. So that's just some of the things that I use. And also, another thing that I really like, and I don't use these a lot, is you can download an SVG file type, which is scalable vector graphic, which means you can size it appropriately. And I use those when I'm making designs for t-shirts. So I've got a Cricut maker, and so I use the SVGs when I want to design shirts for my Cricut. And so that's real fun. But yeah, there's so much to do. I need to put together a list one day. I forgot my favorite. I mean, like, all those are my favorite. I love those. But what I really love is the resize button, because if I create something or I find a template in one style, like we did a timer video one time, and I looked up thumbnails. Let's go to templates. Let's try that again. I saw it and then it went away. Here it is. Oh, that's a blank one. It doesn't matter. So you find a template that you like in thumbnails, right? Let's say that I want to use this type of style for a thumbnail, but I can also copy and resize it to a video format. So let's just copy and resize, or you can just resize. And now it's got the video player underneath, and I can add something else here, and I can add a transition. And so in between the thumbnail and then whatever else. And I love that so much. That is like one of my top features. One of the live streams I've done already talked all about that. It was the one on timers. So let me scroll back up here. It was this one, make a live stream timer. So let's see. Look, YouTube likes this one enough that they put an ad on it. I'm not monetized yet. All right, let's copy. And I'm going to link that to you. So that one's the live stream that I did with the countdown timer, talking about all of that. Now, I've been going for 2 hours. I'm ready to call it for the day. I'm really starting to feel fatigued because I've been sitting upright for a while. But let's see here. I haven't noticed content planner. There's a lot of stuff I haven't even used yet and finding out here. I'm so glad that you learned something new. I might even use this quote in my quote community post a little later on. I'm going to probably spend about 30 minutes after this starring different comments that have come in so that I can decide what I want to share in the community post later. But yeah, so much fun. Before I call it quits, does anybody have any questions? Whew. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I'm tired. And you know what I forgot? I forgot my water today, so I've not been drinking either. But yeah, I don't know. Did you guys see the thumbnail for this? I love that so much. And then let's see. This is what, if you didn't see it, because you may have come in late, right? This is what I showed at the beginning. Yeah, I had fun creating that one. That was the last thing I did this morning right before Canva crashed. But yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much for sticking it with me for this whole live stream. You were here for a long time. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I've got a video that I'm working on that I'm hoping will come out next week. I think I'm going to do one live stream next week and one video next week, and we'll see what happens. But I am feeling pretty fantastic today, minus my throat's starting to go a little bit. But considering that I just had my first iron infusion on Tuesday, and I'm already noticing tremendous difference between how I felt on Monday and how I feel on Friday, I think that's a good sign that I'm heading in the right direction. And I've got another one scheduled next month. So I'm hoping that that will help. I know that this might be a little early, like it's late now. Normally I do them from like 9:30 to 11:30, but I do better in the morning. And then I also worry about the air conditioning and then vehicles driving by. But if that doesn't bother anybody, then I might try to do some a little later, especially once I feel even better than I do now. If you're just tuning in, what we've done today is we have learned a whole lot of image effects, and we've really focused on the background removal tool in Canva. If you have Canva for free and you want to try Canva Pro for 30 days, I'm going to leave a link in the chat and in the description, and you can just give it a try. It doesn't cost you a thing for 30 days. And I'm telling you, if you use it, you might not want to go back, because I can't imagine designing, especially for YouTube, without it. All right, let's see here. We're going to show the outro, and I'm going to leave. You guys enjoy the outro. And if you could do me a favor, if you haven't already, hit the like button. Make sure you comment so that I know what you learned in Canva in this lesson. Once you're, oh my gosh, my brain. Y'all see what happens to me in the afternoon? I just lose it. All right, I will see you in the next video or live stream.